पदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामी नामिने नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामी नामिने नमः आचार्य पदाय निताय कृपा प्रदायिने गौरकथा धामदाय नगर ग्राम तारिणे नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे.
Hare Krishna. We welcome all of our YouTube live listeners, our listeners over Facebook Live, and our listeners over Zoom. Welcome to each and every one of you to this day 7 of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu's South India Yatra.
Can we have the slideshow, please? Yesterday, we visited Pancha Apsara Tirtha, Gokarna, if you remember, Dvaipayani. Then we went to Kolhapur, Mahalakshmi Temple, Pandharpur, Shurparaka, which is none other than Sopara in Mumbai, Thane. Nasik, we were followed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Triambakeshwar Temple. And today, from there, Lord Chaitanya visits Dvarka, Krishnavena River, Mahishmati Pura, which is modern day Maheshwar, and Dhanush Tirtha. These are the 4 places we will visit today, along with Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. Next slide, please. So, as you can see, we are starting from Nasik, and from Nasik, Lord Chaitanya goes westward towards Dwarka, and from Dwarka he comes to Mahishmati Pura, which is near Madhya Pradesh area, and then he goes to Dhanush Tirtha, which is near Dandakaranya forests. Next slide, please. So this is what we will follow today, Lord Chaitanya's path. Some scriptures, they say that Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu went from Nasik to Dwarka, but some say Mahaprabhu did not. So we will still visit Dwarka, the transcendental land of Sri Krishna. Upon Kamsa's death, as we know, Krishna killed Kamsa. His 2 wives, they became widows. And according to Vedic civilization, a woman is never left alone or without any guardian. In fact, it is said that a woman has 3 stages of life. In childhood, a woman would live under the protection of her father, a youthful woman under the protection of her young husband. In the event of death of her husband, she would live in the protection of her grown-up sons, or if she has no grown-up sons, then she must go back to her father and live as a widow under her protection. So it appears that Kamsa had no grown-up sons. Therefore, after his wives, they became widows. They returned to the shelter of their father, Jarasandha. Kamsa had 2 queens, Asti and Prapti, and both happened to be the daughters of Jarasandha, the lord of the province of Bihar, known as Magad at that time. Next slide, please. When Asti and Prapti reached home to King Jarasandha's place,
then they explained to their father what happened to their husband Kamsa. And when, King Jarasandha, he heard about the demise of his son-in-law and the pitiable condition of his daughters, then he said, I have to punish this Krishna. So he began to make extensive arrangements to attack Mathura. And he had, many, thousands upon thousands of armies. It is said, soldiers in his armies, horses, elephants, infantry soldiers. But although Jarasandha came equipped with an ocean of army, of military strength, it is said that the fighting of Lord Krishna and Balaram, it converted the whole situation into a ghastly scene. Only both the brothers had come from Dvarka. They did not bring any, soldiers also. Just both the brothers came and they fought with Jarasandha and his entire army. Next slide, please. So when Jarasandha, he came the first time like this, Krishna, Balaram, they were tackling the entire army of Jarasandha. This one cannot be even fathomed, that how two ordinary boys, they were young boys at that time. Krishna and Balaram were very young, hardly 11, 12 years young. And that time, Krishna and Balaram are facing the entire huge army of Jarasandha. And it was not a problem. Let's see the next slide, please. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when he was fighting, he was looking as if, Krishna had like millions of arms and he was shooting millions of arrows and he was just killing all these demoniac, kings who had come in support of Jarasandha. And he was just, massacring them, just killing them. Vinashaya cha dushkrita. This is the purpose of Krishna's appearance. Krishna said that I have to, punish the miscreants. So this was the reason why Krishna was just, he was just killing, massacring the army of Jarasandha. Next slide, please. And then it is said that Lord Balaram, he actually fought a duel with, can we have the slides back, please? So when Lord Balaram, he was fighting with Jarasandha, it was as if, Lord Balaram was, fighting with his plow. And then in the end, Jarasandha was completely incapacitated in his, dealings with Lord Balaram. And Lord Balaram, it is said that, he used his Varun Pasha, to capture Jarasandha. He arrested Jarasandha and he just brought him in front of Krishna. Krishna, he knows past, present, future. So Krishna knew that Jarasandha has something very important role to still play. It's not yet time for Jarasandha to die. And that too, he will not die in the hands of either Balaram or himself. That there's another great personality who is supposed to be the killer of Jarasandha. That is going to be Bhima. So therefore, Lord Balaram, although he had bound Jarasandha with the ropes of Varuna, then Krishna said, no, let's release him. Let's release him. And then they just released Jarasandha. Jarasandha was so much hurt. And his demoniac kings, the friends of Jarasandha, they started, giving him more, moral support. And they said, no, Jarasandha, you've lost one time, but don't lose again. We can go and attack again. We'll not give up. We'll go and attack again. This is the craziness of, crazy people, materialistic minded people. That, it is said, Srila Prabhupada says, that a first class intelligent person, if he just hears once, he will stay away from any kind of dangers. Second class intelligent person, they have to experience it also. And only after experiencing it, then they will, say, okay, now I won't do that. I won't do that. But a third class person, after repeated experiencing also, he doesn't learn his lesson. So Srila Prabhupada said that Jarasandha was actually a third class person. Because not once, not twice, but 17 times Jarasandha attacked Mathura. Every single time Krishna and Balaram would defeat him and leave him almost lifeless. But he would still come back. He would still come back and he would still try to see, oh, I can be victorious. This was the illusion that Jarasandha. But at the same time, every time that Krishna and Balaram would defeat, Krishna started noticing that the people of Mathura, the residents, the dear devotees of Krishna, every time that Jarasandha would come, the Mathura Vasis, the residents of Mathura, they would feel very fearful and they would say, oh no, what will happen to us? What will happen to us? So then, considering about the plight of the Mathura Vasis, it is said that, actually then the 18th time, it is said that Jarasandha, he, aligned with another of his great ally friends, another demoniac friend, whose name was Kala Yavana. So this Kala Yavana had attacked from the front, and Krishna and Balaram said that if we go and tackle Kala Yavana, then this Jarasandha, he will come and attack Mathura. They will be left protectionless. So how will we be able to protect on both sides? It's not possible. So then in the night itself, Krishna, he decided that he would want to now keep the Mathura, the residents of Mathura, very, very safe. Thus, next slide, please. Thus, Krishna, in the middle of the ocean, he erected this beautiful, magnificent city called as Dvarka, in the middle of the ocean. So Krishna just set his foot there, and Krishna just appointed Vishwakarma, and he said, Vishwakarma, this is my city plan, this is what I want, and now you construct Dvarka. Then the city, the beauty of the city of Dvarka was actually so beautifully described in the Srimad Bhagavatam that, Krishna wanted the design to be very, very specific and very, very beautiful.
And in fact, earlier, Dwarka was also part of the kingdom of Mathura. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that Krishna constructed the fort in the middle of the sea. In fact, the remnants of the fort that Krishna constructed still exists on the Bay of Dwarka, and we'll have a darshan of that. Next slide, please. Krishna actually, first of all, such a beautiful, enchanting city that he erected. First of all, he constructed a very strong wall, which was covering 96 square miles, and the wall itself was within the sea. Then, actually, it was planned by Vishwakarma and constructed by Vishwakarma. No ordinary architect would be able to construct such a fort within the ocean, except the architect of the Devatas, Vishwakarma. And he executed such wonderful craftsmanship. I mean, by Krishna's mercy, because of huge planets, they can float in outer space in weightlessness by the arrangement of the Lord, then definitely this wonderful architectural construction of 96 square miles only can also exist within the sea.
Not too difficult to understand.
Yeah. This, Srimad Bhagavatam says, this newly constructed city within the sea, it had not only forts, it had roads, regular planned roads, it had streets, lanes, and there were parks and gardens and kalpavriksha, which means wish-fulfilling trees, desire trees. These desire trees, they are not like ordinary trees of the material world. Next slide, please. This desire tree, they are found in the spiritual world. Next slide. So here it shows Lord Caitanya went to Dvarka. And because of Krishna's supreme will, such desire trees were planted from the spiritual world in Dvarka. This was also filled with palaces, with gopuras, as you can see here, or big gates. Gopuram means like a big gate. These gopuram we can found still in some of the larger temples, very, very high, and they are constructed like with artistic, design, intricate designs and artistic skill. And each of these palaces and gates, they would hold kalash or water pots on the gates or on the palaces as auspicious sign. Next slide, please. When this new city of Dwarka, when this was fully constructed according to the plan, one night, Krishna just transferred all the inhabitants of Mathura into Dwarka and then installed Sri Balaram as the protector of this city of Dwarka.
So if you see this picture, this is how Krishna just transported them. And Narada Muni, the transcendental spaceman, you can see him on the right corner. He's witnessing this beautiful Leela. How you can see in the farther side, how on the top you see the ocean and you see parts of the city over there too. And so much, the city is huge. Krishna's city that he built, Dwarka, is so huge. And Narad Muni and all the devatas would come to witness the opulence of Dwarka. Next slide, please. So we see here so elegantly, Krishna and Balaram are completely satisfied. Krishna has installed Balaram, the elegant one, to be the protector of the city of Dwarka. And Balaram saying, yeah, Krishna, no worries, I will take care of it for you. You can enjoy. And we can see how Narad Muni, as if he's sitting on the cloud and he's witnessing the talks between Krishna and Balaram. Such a sweet picture this is, that how, the city of Dwarka actually is functioning. And Narad Muni, the transcendental spaceman, is witnessing all of this beautiful leelas as they are unfolding. Next slide, please. So this is Krishna and Balaram in the golden city of Dwarka. So this is how beautiful Dwarka is. And it's really opulent, extremely beautiful, extremely, breathtaking to visualize. Next slide, please. And, we can see here, this is a painting of the city of Dwarka, how Krishna is treated in royalty over here in Dwarka.
In the background, you can see these big palaces and big gopurams, which are huge gates and entrance places to the city, to different palaces, and things like that.
You can see the Kalpa Vrikshas, you can see the ocean. Such a beautiful place. Krishna just created this. Why? Why he made this city? Just for the protection of his devotees, the residents of Mathura. How merciful is Krishna that he constructed an entire city like a fortress in the middle of the ocean, just for the protection of his devotees. I mean, to what extent can Krishna go to just protect his devotees, just to make them feel safe? Krishna would have anyways protected them, whether they are in Mathura, whether they are wherever. But because Krishna could sense that they're always in anxiety, oh, when will Jarasandha attack? How will we protect ourselves? That anxiety, Krishna, as Paramatma in their heart, could understand. And that's why he created this magnificent floating city in the middle of the ocean to put the Mathura Vasis at ease. So this is the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. Leela Purushottam Shri Bhagavan Krishna ki jai. Next slide, please. So we see here, this is how the current city in the current day of Dwarka looks like. From the ocean, this is how Dwarka looks like today.
It said that the original city of Dwarka there was a huge flood and is actually inside the ocean, but this is the remnants of the city. And scientists have actually found different artifacts and city of Dwarka within the ocean, as explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, that it got submerged in the ocean. But the remnants of that city is still seen here on the shore of the ocean. this, which we see in the middle, if you see, there's a huge structure, long, tall structure. This is the main temple of Dwarkadhish. This temple is 5,000 years old. Next slide, please. This particular temple, Dwarkadhish Mandir Ki Jai, this was constructed more than 5,000 years ago. It was built by Krishna's great grandson. His name was Vajranath. He actually built a lot of temples, even in Mathura, even in Vrindavan. And this where this temple is, this is exactly the place where Hari Griha once stood, which means the home of Lord Hari stood here, making this land very, very transcendental. Next slide, please.
So this is how the temple looks. Next slide, please. Dwarkadhish temple. And this is darshan of Shri Dwarkadhish Bhagavan ki jai. Shri Dwarkadhish ki jai. So beautiful, Krishna, black Krishna. He's standing so beautifully as the Lord of Dwarka. Dwarkadhish. Adhish means master, master of Dwarka. The very, very beautiful deity. Next slide, please. And here is Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu coming and taking darshan of Sri Dwarkadhish. Jai Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. Next slide, please. Now we come to the Gomti River. You can see the Gomti River kind of merges into the ocean. So the main temple stands on this Dwarkadhish temple. You can see it on the right side corner. That it stands on the banks of the river Gomti, and there's a small temple which denotes the Gomti Devi, the goddess of the river Gomti. And here in this, on the banks of this river Gomti, every evening, wonderful, all the pilgrims, they come to float, lamps. We tried to find a picture, but we couldn't find a picture to show that. But this, evening, in the evening, during the Sandhya Arati, pilgrims come and immerse lamps into the waters of the Gomti. And this is a sight to behold. It looks so beautiful. Thousands upon thousands of lamps are lit on the waters of the Gomti. So everyone, they immerse their lamp with a desire of theirs, and they let the lamp, flow into the ocean. So let us also do that today, right now, that let us light a lamp in our mind, and then let us sit on the banks of the river Gomati, and then taking the name of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, let us immerse our lamp into the Gomati River while asking for our, very, very, very deep spiritual desire. Let us ask and beg for the fulfillment of our deep spiritual desire, and let us float this lamp, just like how this lamp is now going to meet into the ocean. So may our desire, our spiritual desire, also reach the lotus feet of Sri Sri Rukmini Dwarkadhish, so that our desires be fulfilled. Jai Shri Gomti River ki jai. Let us sprinkle the waters of the Gomti on our heads and, watch this beautiful evening filled with lamps all around us. Next slide, please.
Srimati Rukmini Devi ki jai. This is Rukmini Dwarkadhish. So there is a temple for Dwarkadhish. There is a temple for Srimati Rukmini Devi. Also, this is 4 kilometers from the main temple. It's dedicated to Sri Rukmini Devi. This is the place where Rukmini Devi married Lord Krishna. Or Lord Krishna married Rukmini Devi here in this place. So we pray to Sri Rukmini Devi to enhance our devotional service, so we may be able to please Lord Krishna in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Next slide, please. Now, there is an island here in Dvarka called Bhet Dwaraka. This is It is said that Krishna actually ruled from here. Bhet means to meet. And this is the palace. This is the place where the palace was, where Krishna met Sudama Brahman, when he came to meet his dear friend. And Sudama Brahman, he brought with him dry chipped rice. There is a lounge and a couch here on which Lord Krishna received Sudama also in
In
this
this
Bhet
temple, you
Dwarka.
can see that, yes. Actually, it is said that the prasad that we get here at this temple is, dry chipped rice. The only prasad that we get here is dry chipped rice. We're very fortunate that, when our parents visited, they brought us some dry chipped rice, and, we have that, we kept it. So we keep, eating one small grain sometimes, so that, we can develop the mood of this beautiful Brahmana friend of Krishna's, Sudama. Then how much humble Sudama is, that how he came with so much humility, with so much devotion, with so much love. He came to meet with Krishna. Next slide, please. We can see how when Sudama came to meet with Krishna, Krishna never thought that, oh, I am king and you are who? By the way, Krishna never said like that. Krishna embraced his dear friend Sudama. And look at the way Krishna himself, he sat down. Behind is the goddess of fortune, Srimati Rukmini Devi. She is sitting and she is assisting her husband, Krishna, in worshipping a Brahmana. This is how Krishna has taught how to do Atiti Satkara, how to receive guests. When guests visit the house of grihastas, the house of householders, how should we receive them? We must wash their lotus feet. We must give them something good to eat. We must relieve them of their fatigue and then ask them, what can we do for you? How can we serve you? So this is how Krishna is teaching by his own example how to serve guests, how to serve devotees. This is so beautiful. And see the love with which Krishna, if you zoom into the photograph, pinch it out, then you can see Krishna is actually crying when he is washing. He's not only washing Sudama's lotus feet with actual water, but also it is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna washed Sudama's lotus feet with his own tears. This is the love of Krishna. And Krishna, he knew very well why Sudama had come. He just came to meet Krishna. And Sudama never even told that, Krishna, I want this, because that was the reason Sudama's wife had sent Sudama that, please go to your friend, ask him that, please give us some kind of opulence, so at least we are relieved of our poverty. But Sudama could not ask anything. And then as soon as Krishna said, oh, Sudama, now you came, I received you. So then Krishna and Sudama, they were sitting and talking about their childhood leelas. And Krishna remember Sudama, that night, that in the Gurukul, in Ujjain, when we were in Sandipani Muni's ashram, we had gone to collect firewood. And then it started raining and we got stuck in that rain. And then what did you do? Krishna knew that Sudama had eaten without giving Krishna. So then Krishna said, but we were both so hungry, and the next day our Guru Maharaj came to get us. And then Sudama said, yes, Krishna, you did not forget. You are a prince, but you still did not forget anything, my dear Krishna. And Krishna said, yes, you love me so much. How can I forget you? So, my dear friend Sudama, you came to see me. What have you brought for me? And then Sudama said, no, I didn't bring anything. And then Krishna noticed Sudama is hiding something behind him. Krishna immediately reached out and brought out a little bundle of dry chipped rice. And dry chipped rice, poha, dry poha. And Krishna ate one. I said, oh, this is my favorite. I love chipped rice. And then Krishna ate the second time. And then Rukmini Devi said, my dear Lord, this much is enough. Why did she say? Because if Krishna takes that much, what Sudama will get back will be unlimited. So therefore, Rukmini Devi said, there's no need for you to eat anymore, my lord. So if we go to this temple of Bhet Dwaraka, there, even till today, we can see this couch that we are seeing here, where Sudama is sitting. We can see that couch that is there, it symbolizes there. And then, we get the chipped rice Mahaprasad at this temple. So here we come to, we beg our, we offer our heartfelt prayers here to Sudama Brahmana, just like how he was able to capture the heart of Krishna by his pure love, by his pure, unmotivated, uninterrupted love. He was able to attract the heart of Krishna. May we also be able to follow in the same footsteps of Sudama and be able to attract the heart of Krishna, so that we may be able to, just like how Sudama pleased Krishna, we may also be allowed to please our Guru Vargas. So with this prayer at Bhet Dwarka, we come to our next destination.
Next slide, please. This is Mula Dwarka. This is the place where Lord Krishna is said to have set his foot first when he arrived in Dwarka. Mool means root or origin. So this is the original Dwarka. When Krishna traveled from Mathura to Dwarka, he first established himself in Mula Dwarka before going to establish his palace in Dwarka. So this is the Mula Dwarka Mandir ki Jai, Mula Dwarka Dham ki Jai. Now from here, next slide please. It is said that in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita it says, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he then next went to the bank of the Krishnavena River, where he took baths. So this is the Krishnavena River, where he took baths.
So let us also
take bath here and sprinkle water on our heads with the prayer to please allow us to have the dust of Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet on our heads, so we may serve the devotees in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant of our spiritual masters. Then the Brahmana community here in this Krishnavena River around, they were actually pure devotees. They regularly studied a book called Krishna Karnamrita. And Lord Chaitanya was very much intrigued. Krishna Karnamrita. It was actually composed by Bilva Mangala Thakur. Next slide, please. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was very pleased to hear this book, Krishna Karnamrita, and with great eagerness, he had it copied, this Krishna Karnamrita, and he took it with him. In fact, this is Srila Bilva Mangal Thakur. He did not have any eyes. He had gorged out his eyes. So he does not look at anything sense gratificatory. But he could still see Krishna within his heart. And he would see Krishna is listening. He would talk to Krishna. In fact, he would even chastise Krishna. And in his chastisement of love, he would glorify Krishna. That is exactly what Chaurashtakam is. Chauragra Ganya Purushashtakam is compiled by Srila Bilva Mangal Thakur. And in the Pushti Marg, they chant it every day in the month of Purushottama because it's so dear to Krishna. This is Srila Bilva Mangal Thakur.
And it is said that when Bilva Mangal Thakur would sing, and he would recite the pastimes of Krishna, if nobody else is listening, Krishna would come and listen like this. Krishna would himself sit in front of Bilva Mangal Thakur and he would listen to the beautiful narrations and the singing of Srila Bilva Mangal Thakur. This is how attracted Krishna is to his devotees.
So Lord Chaitanya, he very much appreciated Srila Bilva Mangal Thakur, very much appreciated Krishna Karnamrita. And he said, one who constantly reads the Krishna Karnamrita, next slide please, that person can fully understand the beauty and the melodious taste of the pastimes of Lord Krishna. This is the Sri Krishna Karnamritam. And in fact, during his South India Yatra, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he considered two books to be most valuable jewels. The Brahma Samhita and Krishna Karnamrita were two books that he considered the jewels of the South India Yatra. And he took them with him on his return trip back to Jagannath Puri. Shri Krishna Karnamritam ki
Jai.
Shri Bilva Mangal Thakur ki
Jai.
Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Next slide.
So then from Krishnavena River, then Mahaprabhu came down to Madhya Pradesh. Now, if you see the map, we can see how the Lord Chaitanya is now tracing his back into Orissa. So Mahaprabhu is now traversing into Madhya Pradesh. He is coming to Mahishmati Pura, which is considered to be the current day Maheshwara in Madhya Pradesh. It is said in the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in text 310 in chapter 9 in Madhya Leela, it says Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu next arrived at the banks of the river Tapi. After bathing here, he went to Mahishmati Pura. While here, he saw many holy places on the banks of the river Narmada. So Mahaprabhu, he took bath in the river Tapi, then he took bath in the river Narmada, which is Narmada River is the one that is on the banks of this Mahishmati Pura. So next slide, please.
So there it is said this Maheshwara, this Mahishmati Pura, is actually the kingdom of Kartavirya Arjun, who is also known as Sahasrabahu Arjun. He was actually a great king, a huge king of the ancient kingdom of Hayas, Haya dynasty. And his capital was Mahishmati, which is on the bank of Narmada River in Madhya Pradesh. Kartavirya Arjun was the son of Kritavirya. And according to the Puranas, Haya was the grandson of Sahasrajit, who is the descendant of Yadavas. So the descendants of Yadavas was Kartavirya Arjun. He's the one who actually established this city of Mahishmati Pura. Next slide, please. This place is very famous for Shiva temples in this area. Mandhata Omkareswara Mandir. It houses one of the Jyotirlingas, just like we saw in Triambakeshwar, one Jyotirlinga. Here also. Next slide, please. Jai Shri Omkareswara ki Jai. This is Omkareswara deity on the banks of river Narmada of Lord Shiva. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here. He had darshan. And so we pray to Param Vaishnava Shambhu to please allow us to serve and preach with dignity and follow proper sadhana and service to Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna.
Next slide, please. From here, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu then came, he's now entering into the Dandakaranya forest area. This is a huge area, which we will also cover tomorrow, which starts from the Rishyamukha mountains. Then Mahaprabhu goes to the Dandakaranya forest, and then he comes to Panchavati. So tomorrow we will cover these areas, but today Mahaprabhu is coming here till Dhanush Tirtha. In text 311 in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, Dhanush Tirtha dekhi korila nirvindhyate snane. That the Lord next arrived at Dhanush Tirtha, where he took his bath in the river Nirvindhya. So there's a river called as Nirvindhya here in Dhanush Tirtha. So let's see what Dhanush Tirtha is. Next slide, please. So Dhanush Tirtha, it is said that it is the sacred pond that Sri Parashuram, who is one of the Leela avatars of Sri Krishna, he created from his bow Shranga. So, from his bow, he actually created this little pond. And Lord Chaitanya came here to this particular place of Sri Dhanush Tirtha. Next slide, please. So here we see Lord Parashuram, who created this beautiful Dhanush Tirtha here at, which is in the Madhya Pradesh area. And the exact, current location where it is in today's, city, we were not able to trace that, unfortunately, but it is somewhere in Madhya Pradesh near the Dandakaranya forest region. So this is the Dhanush Tirtha established by Lord Parashuram himself.
In fact, some say that this Dhanush Tirtha is on the Rishyamukha mountains, which we will go tomorrow. And this Rishyamukha range of mountains, they go from Madhya Pradesh all the way down to Karnataka, near Hampi. From Rampa area in Madhya Pradesh to Hampi area, where Hanuman actually was the appearance place of Hanuman. This is the Rishyamukha mountains. So Dhanush Tirtha is under the Rishyamukha mountains and towards the Madhya Pradesh side. Right. So let us take drops of water, sprinkle on ourselves of this wonderful holy Dhanush Tirtha pond, which is sanctified by the touch and the origin of one of the Leela avatars of Krishna, Lord Parshuram. Shri Parshuram ki jai. There is one question here that has Lord gone to Dvarka? CC does not say so. That is correct, and that's what before we started talking about Dvarka, it is said Chaitanya Charitamrita does not say, you're right, but some do say that Lord did arrive at Dvarka. So we are going as per some of the local legends that's there. But yes, Chaitanya Charitamrita does not say so. You're right about that. And that disclaimer we had given before we started discussing about Dwarka as well. But nevertheless, going to Dwarka is always a good thing. So, all right. So, in honor of Srila Bailva Mangal Thakur, next slide, please. Today we went to Dwarka, Krishnavena River, to Mahishmati Pura. Lord Chaitanya then went there to Maheshwara, and then to Dhanush Tirtha, which is the place of Lord Parshuram. So we will end here, and in honor of Srila Bilva Mangal Thakur, we will today sing Chorashtakam or Choragraganya Purushashtakam.
So can we have the lyrics? Can we stop the presentation here? And can we have the lyrics in the chat box, please? So we'll just read the translation. It has 8 beautiful verses that were composed and compiled by Srila Bilva Mangal Thakur. And Bilva Mangal Thakur is saying that I offer my respectful obeisances to the foremost of thieves, who is famous in Braja as the butter thief, and he who steals the gopis' clothes, and who, for those who take shelter of him, steals the sins which have occurred over many, many lifetimes. Second verse, I offer my respectful obeisances to the foremost of thieves, who steals Srimati Radhika's heart, and who steals the dark luster of a fresh rain cloud, who steals all the sins and sufferings of those who take shelter of his lotus feet. Third, he turns his surrendered devotees into paupers and wandering, homeless beggars. Alas, such a fearsome thief has never been heard or seen in all the 3 worlds. Mere utterance of his name purges one of a mountain of sins. Such an astonishingly wonderful thief I have never seen or heard of anywhere. O thief, having stolen my wealth, my honor, my senses, my life, and my everything, where can you run to? I have caught you with the rope of my devotion. You cut the terrible nose of Yamaraj. You sever the dreadful nose of material existence, and you slash everyone's material bondage. But you are unable to cut the knot that is fastened by your own loving devotees. O stealer of my everything, O thief, today I have imprisoned you in the miserable prison house of my heart, which is very fearful due to the terrible darkness of my ignorance. And there for a very long time you will remain, receiving appropriate punishment for your crimes of thievery. O Krishna, O thief of everything, the noose of my devotion remaining forever tight, you will continue to reside in the prison house of my heart, because I will not release you for millions of eons. So now we'll sing this beautiful bhajan, which is written by Srila Bilva Mangal Thakura.
व्रजे प्रसिद्धं नवनीतचोरम् गोपाङ्गनानां जगत्फूलचोरम् अनेकजन्मा जितपापचोरम् चौरानगम्यं पुरुषं नमामि
क्षीराधिकाया हृदयस्य चौरम् नवाम्बुदाशा मलकान्तिचौरम् पादाश्रितानां च समस्तचौरम् चौराग्रगण्यं पुरुषं नमामि
आकिञ्चनीकृत्यपदाश्रितं करोति भिक्षुं पथिये हरिं केनाप्यहोभिषणचोरैर्हि दृष्टं श्रुतो वा न जगत्त्रयेऽपि
यदीयनामा विहराद्यशेषम् गिरिप्रसारम् अपि पापराशम् आश्चर्यरूपो धनुचोरयित्रे दृष्ट श्रुतो वा न मया कदापि
क्षमानं च तथेन्द्रियाणि प्राणांश्चरित्वा मम सर्वमेव पालायसेको प्रथितोऽन्यचोरा त्वं भक्तिदाम्ना सीमया निरुद्धा
क्षीणासिघोरम् यमपाशबन्धम् कीलात्सि भीमम् भवपाशबन्धम् क्षीणात्सि सर्वस्य समस्तबन्धम् नैवात्मनोऽकृतं तु बन्धम्
मत्पादसेतां वसनाशिखोरे कारागृहेषु खमये निबध्ना लाभस्वहेषा रहरे चिराय स्वचौर्यदोषो चितमेव दण्डम् कारागृहे वसना हृदये मदीये मद्भक्तिपाशा दृढबन्धन निश्चलासन् त्वां कृष्ण हे प्रलयकोटि शतान्तरेऽपि सर्वस्वचोरा हृदयं ननु
Samojayami Raje Prasiddham Navadita Chauram Gopanganana Shadukula Chauram Anika Janma Jita Papa Choram Choragraganyam Purusham Namami Choragraganyam Purusham Namami Choragraganyam Purusham Namami.
Jai Shri Chauragraganyam Purushashtakam ki
Jai.
Srila Bilva Mangal Thakur ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
ISKCON Vartaman Shri Guru Vrind ki
Jai.
Jai. So we can open up the lines for questions or comments.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam. All
Dandavat.
glory to Srila Prabhupada Guru and Gauranga. I really like today's class, Mataji. I really like the Dhanush Tirtha that we went to today. And we went to Dvarka. I never went to Dvarka before, so I liked going there today. So I have one quick question about Shishupal. So Shishupal, he was rude to Krishna and used to call Krishna really bad names and everything, and Krishna used to tolerate it. And we all know that Krishna is doing this like kind of for a leela or something. But if Krishna can't really tolerate the bad things that Shishupal is saying, Krishna can kill him right away. Like, why does he need to like hold up himself and just wait for him to kill Shishupal? Because he can kill anybody, and even though if it's a leela, if Krishna gets really angry, he can kill anybody. So why didn't Krishna do that?
Because Krishna is so merciful. And also, very important question, Kirti, that Shishupal is actually one of Krishna's cousins. He's actually the son of Krishna's aunt, and one of his aunts actually. And when Shishupal was born, he actually was born very dangerous. He had like a third eye, and he was really weird looking. So it was said that when he was born, his aunt was really scared looking at the newborn baby. And then there was a voice from the sky that said that whoever is going to be the killer of this child, whenever that person will hold the child in his hands, his two extra arms and the third eye will go away. So that way you will know who is going to be, in whose hands your child will be killed. And that time, the extra limbs of his body would go away. So then Krishna's, parents, Devaki Vasudev, Balaram and Krishna, came to see the little baby. Krishna's cousin was born. So then they came to see the little Shishupal. And as soon as Krishna took him in his arms, Shishupal's, the extra limbs from his body went away. And seeing that, the aunt was happy, but of course she also became very, very disturbed that Krishna is actually going to be the killer of her son. So she then came crying to Krishna that, Krishna, you are my very, very dear, you're like my son, you're like my own son. How could you be the killer of my own son? How can you do this? Please, Krishna, don't kill him. He's my son. He's your brother. He's your cousin. Please don't kill him. So then Krishna said, okay, my dear aunt, I will forgive him for 100 times. Every offense that he commits, I will forgive him 100 times. And the 101st time, then I will not tolerate anyone. So it is said that, when Krishna, Shishupal, whenever he would see Krishna, he would get very agitated. He would like criticize and, chastise Krishna. And in the Rajasuya sacrifice, of Maharaj Yudhishthir, at that place when Krishna was worshipped over there as the main, personality by the Pandavas, by Maharaj Yudhishthir, at that time Shishupal started, chastising and, commenting horribly about Krishna. And Balaram and Sahadev and Arjun, Nakul, Bhima, everyone was getting so angry. And Balaram is saying, Krishna, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you tolerating? And Krishna just smiled and said, what am I doing? You want to know, Balaram, what I'm doing? I'm counting. I am counting. That's what I am doing. I am counting. Balaram said, what are you counting? What are you going? Just kill him. Take out your Sudarshan and just kill him. I said, no. I have promised my aunt. I have promised her that I will excuse 100 offenses done by Shishupal. So I'm counting. So I'm not sitting just like that and enjoying. I am counting. So as soon as it was 100 was done, and as soon as Shishupal said the 101st one, Krishna lifted his Sudarshan, chopped off the head of Shishupal. So that's the story. Hope that answers your question.
I have one more question. So today when I was and I forgot what song it was, but when I was listening to the song, it said that Yashoda Nandana, and so that is Krishna, and he's Yashoda Nandana. Why can't it in most of the songs it also says Devaki Nandana and Yashoda Nandana? In this world, I have a question. Why can't Krishna pick only one parent? Why does he need two parents?
Because there are so many devotees who love Krishna. That's just the nature of Krishna, that everyone loves him. And Mother Devaki loved Krishna. Mother Jashoda loves Krishna. But their love is very different, which we explained when we were discussing this matter in the Bhagavatamrita sessions, if you remember. That what is the difference between Mother Devaki's love and the difference of love between Mother Jashoda. But Krishna, he is loved by, his devotees so much that, he even considered Putana. What you're talking about, Devaki and Yashoda, he even considered Putana his mother. That is how Krishna is.
But if any pure devotees can be Krishna's mother, if they really willingly desire, will people from the material world, if they willingly desire, will Krishna let you be your mother or no?
Of course, they can assist Mother Jashoda, like all the gopis, the elderly gopis in Braja. They have a Vatsalya ras towards Krishna. So Krishna reacts with them and corresponds with them, interacts with them, just like he does with Mother Jashoda. So Mother Jashoda's position cannot be taken. That not that, Mother Jashoda's, we can become Mother Jashoda, but we can become the servants of Mother Jashoda and, continue to serve Krishna in that same Vatsalya mood.
Thank you. Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tulasi?
Do I have any time left? It's so wonderful presentation. I enjoy every moment of it. And I have my Chaitanya Charitamritam open to me. And also the whole day I do like this and wait till your time comes when I'll open it and listen to you. You are so wonderful matching with the subject and surrounding. I'm so lucky, I'm so fortunate that I didn't get this kind of environment before. So anyway, I have little things to tell you. If you do not mind, may I mention that to you?
Yes, please.
Okay, and I'm writing it down, and like I'm interested to know about Krishnavena River, because that was so important spot that Krishna, Mahaprabhu took that Karnamritam Grantha from there and built a Mangal. So it is Vaishnavas, the main Grantha that Mahaprabhu brought it from South India and distributed to all Vaishnavas. So I was long time interested to know about where the river is and if I have ever any chance to have a holy dip into the river. But I didn't know. I tried to Google it, but probably I didn't get it where it is. If you can find out and if you let us know by the next slide or any time, the location of that river. This is one thing. Another thing is maybe you might think about mentioning Madhavendra Puri. and Sriranga Swami and Ishwar Puri, when you are mentioning all those, maybe you might mention about Nityananda Swami. Lord Nityananda got Diksha from Madhavendra Puri. You
Yes.
might mention that in that context. So
Okay.
that was very important point.
Yes.
Okay, and Krishna Karnamritam, maybe later if you can sing some songs, some stanzas from Krishna Karnamritam or Billamangal, Chintamani, Chintamani Rasa, Prokar Rasadmasu, Rakshabrito, Chin, aha. Um, that song, it's a wonderful song. I used to sing it. I love to hear from you if you can.
Yeah, this is from Sri Brahma Samhita.
Brahma Sangita, yeah, the first one, I think, Chintamani song.
Mani prakara satma sukalpa vriksha
Right?
Saviteshu surabhi abhipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra sata sambrama sevyamanam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so beautiful song. And and the Brahmagiri, I see now Chaitanya Charitamrita Mahaprabhu is going from Nasik, Trambaki to Brahmagiri,
Yes.
and from
That's
there
the
he
source
goes
of the
to
Godavari.
Vidyanaya.
We visited that yesterday.
Okay. Oh, you did that. Oh, I missed that yesterday. I was waiting Saturday and Sunday. I didn't know that it wouldn't be happening on Saturday and Sunday. I called somebody there and just to know if there is any session today or not. But she
Oh,
said, no, no, it is not today. So then I missed it yesterday. But
But
I
from this weekend onwards, for the entire month of Kartik,
uh,
because Kartik starting on Friday here,
mm,
so we will be every day for one
even
oh,
month,
even
every
Saturday
day.
and Sunday.
Saturday and
Yeah.
Sunday as well. Then
Yeah.
after Kartik ends, then we'll go back to Monday to Friday.
But
You are
this is 2 more days, right? Seventh day is going on. It's gone
Yes,
just
so
today.
2 more
And two
days.
more days. Okay. Yeah. And yeah. And the map is really little helpful.
yeah.
Though not much, but at least, and also you can redo the previous slides. I think I can find out the way he went to the.
On the last stage, we will show the entire map also.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
entire
That would,
Like a
yatra.
yes,
summary.
yes.
We
Yeah.
will definitely
Yeah,
show that.
that. So yeah, wonderful, wonderful discussion, and I am enjoying it so much. My regards to you both of you. My pranam to you, and there's nothing uh, more I can expect from anywhere in the world. A discussion about this subject. Thank you so much. My regards to you very much. Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
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 Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tulasi. Garima will come right after Tulasi. We'll come to you, beta. Yes, Tulasi.
So I like the wonderful love. I want to share 2 verses of Chorastakam.
Krishna.
Acharashtakam. Very nice. Okay. Thank you.
Vraje prasedam navanidachoram gopangananam cha dukulachoram anikajन्म jitarpapa choram choragraganyam purusham namami Shri Radhikaya Hridayatyachoram Navamudashamalaka Tichoram Padashi Tanam Chasamastachoram Choragraganyam Purusham Namami.
Haribol, Haribol.
That's
Jai
so
Ho, Jai
wonderful,
Ho.
Tulsi. Wonderful. Thank you, beta.
So, can you give your blessing, Mataji?
You give us your blessings. Haribol.
You are already blessed, but we can do some service to you and pray for you as you have asked us. Thank you.
Everyone wants to see you, Tulasi. Can you turn on your camera? so we can see you. There you are.
This is not Radharani sweet.
Yes. That is Sri
So
Radhe.
sweet. Tulsi Gopi ki jai.
Hi, bol Tulsi. Thank you, beta.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hi. Hi, bol bacha. Thank you.
Hare Bol, Hare Krishna. Garima.
Yes, Garima.
Hare Krishna. Mataji and Prabhuji. Then what pranam all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. I really love the class today because when we were in India, it was like one day to Dvarka, and it was just like I really wanted to see the Dwarkadish temple and all that. I really wanted to go to Dwarka and fulfill the desire which I wanted.
Our life is successful, Garima, that we are able to serve you and make you happy. We are feeling that, yes, we are safe, that Krishna will be happy somehow with us because you are happy.
Yeah, I just really love Dwarka a lot. So I have one question, like why did the whole Dwarka go in the water, like the sea again?
Why did it go? Because at that particular time, Krishna was wrapping up his pastimes. Remember when we were doing the Bhagavatamrita session? Remember how Krishna he told that now Dwarka is going to get engulfed by the ocean. That is the plan and the desire of Krishna. He wanted that all the residents of Dwarka be promoted directly to the spiritual world, and how the residents of Dwarka were moved out from there, and then the entire city got engulfed in the ocean. That was the thing that was needed at that time. And then for proving that the actual city actually exists, scientists and archaeologists, they have now dug up the city, and it has come up. The city over time, it has now come up, and we can see these beautiful places of Dwarka. That's all the arrangement by Krishna. And Krishna wanted it that at that time, because Krishna is leaving. Imagine if a city, when everyone is leaving from there, if such a place exists, it'll become like you know, it'll become very haunted, like, no, it'll be so different. So therefore, Krishna arranged for it to become underwater, to go underwater.
So what is this? Like, did the people sink in the ocean or they moved?
They moved before, and then then the Dwarka city got engulfed in the water. So
So
nobody drowned.
like Dwarka to Mathura again?
Most of the Yadavas by then in Dwarka, the Yadu dynasty, they fought amongst themselves and they died right there. So before this happened, there was this fratricidal war between them, civil war, and then in Prabhas Kshetra, that's what happened. In fact, after that, I believe Uddhava was told to tell Arjuna to take the rest of the residents back and to Mathura. So many of them went there. Many of them went to Hastinapur. Actually, they resided in Hastinapur. Arjuna took them, rest of the residents of Dwarka, to Hastinapur. And the great grandson of Krishna, Vajranab, then met Maharaj Parikshit, who was the son of Arjuna, Abhimanyu, actually, grandson of Arjuna. So great grandson of Krishna and grandson of Arjuna then met together in Mathura, because by then Vajranab was ruling Mathura. So which means many of the residents from Dwarka came back to Mathura under Arjuna's guidance.
Yeah, now I understand. And I wanted to tell you that I know the story how these Yadu dynasty, like left
Cotton on
body.
themselves.
Yeah, with the grass.
Yes. And we love
Nice.
that little flower on your hair. Looks so cute, Garima.
Yeah, and I want to tell you that yeah, we went to Madhya Pradesh, which is Ujjain, and Indore. Inside, like next to Indore is Ujjain. So I do what's in Ujjain, like the
Okay.
temple. So like the temple is here, and the like brahmachari ashram is like here,
Okay.
and like the guest house is here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so pretty. Thank you, Beta.
Yeah, and I
जय
made
राम की जय श्रील भक्ति चारू महाराज की जय.
Chai.
Yay.
and I want to show you. I made necklace for Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra.
Pretty. So nice.
Yeah, this one is Subhadra's. It's little bit different designs, and these both are Jagannath and Baldev.
Very nice.
This is like Jagannath, and this is Baldev.
Wonderful, Beta. Very, very nice.
And my mom helped in packing these.
Okay. Very
One
nice.
month got my mom in Ahmedabad.
Very nice. Very nice. Beta. Thank you for sharing with us. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Beta. Thank you.
Okay.
What do we have next?
Do we have Anju Mataji?
Yes, Anju.
Hari Bol,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Oh my gosh, with the class also, these little ones, they are the making us like, speechless. How talented. Oh my god, she made jewelry also. Garima, Danvat Parna. I'll just say it. Tulsi singing Chaurashtam so beautifully. Kirti making drawings. So talented these children are. These devotees. Danvat Pranam to all of them. And Dvarka, wow, we are just sitting at our home, at the comfort of our home, and we're doing all this. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Thank you, Krishna, for all this. I have a question. If we go now to see Dwarka, as you have said, it's immersed now. So actually, what it is now meant, like it is made by men, or like how it is, like what we will be seeing now.
What we saw, the temples, all
Yeah,
the
because it
temples
is
that we saw,
yeah.
those are the places that we can see.
Okay. So those
You can see
places you
Bhet
can see.
Dwaraka, you can see the Rukmani Devi temple, Dwarkadhish temple. And remember when we showed you the current city of Dwarka? That's how the current city of Dwarka is looking at the current day, present day. Then there's
Okay.
also the place where it's a little far away, but the place where Krishna fought with Jambavan, in the
Okay.
caves. So that is also there. Little caves are there. So all those places are there
Okay.
for the
Also,
Shamantaka
some
jewel. Yes.
people go scuba diving inside, in the ocean to see some of the artifacts.
Okay.
Mhm.
Soon we will have submarines also, so we can just go.
Yes.
Okay, and then I just wanted to. It is the same. If you see the idol of Dwarkadish in Mathura, Vishram Ghat, it resembles this is the
Yes.
same deity. They're like
He
which
looks the same. He looks the
they,
same.
yeah.
He's
And
a
as I
replica. He's a replica.
He's a replica of Dwarka.
Yes.
Hopefully. Okay. And just I just wanted to say why we have so many Jyotirlings all over, like India. Like they say that we should visit all the 12 Jyotirlings. Like my mother-in-law has done it. So I just wanted to like at different places. Is there any significance for that? Those all 12
It's
Jyotirlingas?
just, the places like Jyotirlingas are said to be places when Lord Shiva, how he manifested in these different places, in these different Jyotirlinga forms. So that is the only reason to make that place more, transcendental, the more divine. That's why, these Jyotirlingas appear in such places, to make those places much more divine.
Okay. And then like he was a Param Vaishnav, like maybe the another Shivji was like, Mahashiv Prabhu was for used to Shri Ram and Shri Krishna's Param Bhakt also. And so there they visited. That's also might be a reason.
Of course, wherever Lord Krishna's pastimes are, you will always see a temple of Lord Shiva. You'll always find Hanuman, that they are there in those kshetras. Wherever there are Krishna temples, there is, Param Vaishnav Shiva Shambhu is always there. His temple will always be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Protect the Dham.
And to
Yeah.
serve the Lord. Yeah, to serve
The Lord. So just to so much of association, like the way Lord always glorifies his devotees.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it is something. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai.
Jai
There is
Shri
a
Radhe.
question here on the chat. Someone is asking, is Bilva Mangal Thakur the same as Suradas? No, they are different. Suradas, yes, he was also blind, and Bilva Mangal Thakur is also blind. But Bilva Mangal Thakur is different. He's more glorified in the Pushti Marg in the Gujarat area, as we see the Krishna in the Vallabhacharya thing. Although Bilva Mangal Thakur stayed in Vrindavan, but still he is more glorified in the Pushti Marg and Krishna Karnamrita and like that. One time when Bilva Mangal Thakur was, because he was blind, he would just sing praises and he would keep singing. So one little boy came and they said, I'm from this village and we love to hear you sing, all of us. So can we give you some milk? Would you like some milk? So Bilva Thakur said, okay. So he drank the milk and he said, if you want, I can come and give you milk every day. So then every day this boy would come and give milk. And then one day he spoke in a very light voice. And Bilva Mangal Thakur said, can you say that again? He said, would you have milk? Can you take milk today? And Bilva Mangal Thakur said, such sweet voice, such light and sweet. You must be, are you Krishna? And then Krishna started giggling. Like that. And he said, come close, let me hear again. Krishna said, no, I'm not coming. No, come close. And he tried to grab him from the place voice was coming, and Krishna ran away. And he started saying, you have run away now, but where will you run once I capture you in my heart? And that's how he wrote this Chaurashtakam.
Such a beautiful pastime. How Krishna's giggle, they know from the giggle. Jai Shri Radhe.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Very nice class. And you're describing about Birla Mangal Thakur. And he got the title called Nila Sukla Birla Mangal Thakur. Leela. I was reading in the book called Krishna Karnamrita. And they describe that Birla Mangal Thakur was so expert in sensitively narrating the transcendental pastime of the Supreme Personality of Lord for the pleasure of the perfected pure devotees, that he earned the respectful title called Leela Suk, or the Sukdev Goswami describing Krishna Leela.
Leela Shuka.
Yeah, Leela Sukha. He got that title. So
Bilvamangal Thakur ki jai.
Yeah, that's why they, many times I remember, especially in Vrindavan, devotees call, oh, Lila Sukla, Bilvamangal Thakur, we know him.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
But
Very-
he's different than Suradas, as one.
Right.
Mataji-
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And also, Birla Mangal Thakur has written Damodarashtak Stroke, Govind Damodar Strot. This book I have. Look at this,
Oh, wow.
by Birla Mangal Thakur.
Hari Bol.
Very nice. Jai.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
sharing.
Prabhu.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Thank you. Vrinda Gopika Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी प्रभु जी कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम शिल प्रभुपाद शिल गुरुदेव की जय there is no words to your sincere seva mata ji every day taking us in a dham and dubki lagate and mata ji sitting in a home and entering the dham how nicely you narrating the pastime and Dwarkadish Shri Dwarkadish ki jay we Gujarati people love Dwarkadish and Mahishmati Pura and Dhanush Tirtha. Mataji, every day you offering us such a nice kirtan and bhajan. Today we offer our emotions to you. This bhajan is writing by Nashim Mehta. I will take only 1 minute, one stanza. The meaning of this stanza is Lord Krishna is coming in the Lord Krishna and Balram is coming in the Dvarka and they take the vesh of Maniyara means Gwala. So this is the meaning and Radharani is like root jate hai and Narsimheta is written from the bottom of his heart this bhajan. He is from Gujarat. So sincere Vaishnava. So by taking permission, I sing only take one minute, Mataji.
Sure.
This offer to G. Kalashita Mataji and G. Adivis Center Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki jai. Hey, Krishna Bhagavan Chalya, Krishna Bhagavan Chalya, Dvarka ne kai lidho re maniyara kero ves. કે હોવે હોવે લીધો મણિયારા કેરો વેશ કે હું તો તને વારી રે જાઉં મણિયારા કે હું તો તને વારી રે જાઉં મણિયારા હરી હરી ગૌરાંગા
Hari
Gauranga.
કોટી દંડવત
Thank
પ્રણામ
you. That was so sweet. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So tomorrow we will continue into the Dandakaranya forest. We are now following Mahaprabhu back into, as he is about to enter into Orissa and coming back into Sri Jagannath Puri Dham. So tomorrow, please join us where we will visit the places of Sri Ramachandra. So Lord Ramachandra and what amazing pastimes Mahaprabhu did in the Dandakaranya forest. We will look into all of that. So we look forward to seeing all of you all tomorrow. Thank you all so much. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
jai.
Hare Krishna.